there's another one. See him in there? So we got two right in here. Grab this other one. I like some more. Yep, there's another one. Ooh, I stepped over one. See him right there? That's good. I lost the other one I found. Gonna look from a different angle. That's one of the things you want to do when you're out hunting morels. Look one way, then look backwards. He's a little smushy, but I can use him to make a mix. So let's see. Oh, maybe another one. So for this, oops, called something smushy. So I'm gonna go over here and sit down for a minute. But this is a pretty good patch. See if we see any more. So that's, let's see, how many for Hopkins did we find? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for today. And this is the patch that I was going to show you guys, but I didn't have any turn up. Let's check around here. Alright, let me grab my other pack and walk around some more. On that dead stem over here. And someone else found one. We just looked a little further. Let me get my bag on real quick. Sorry about the delay. See some things. We're gonna walk around in here. Give it another once over. Let's see any more. But that amount's not bad. Sometimes you get lucky and you find like 15 in a spot. Alright, so I'm actually leaving Hopkins. I'm done for the day. I picked my morels. But I will say that if you go near that bridge on the dog park side, you check all around that bridge, you might have some luck today. Surprised we're not finding more of that agrosite. But alright, pretty well checked this spot. That's what they were into. Must have had just about the right moisture having that dead tree on it. Look for fertile ground, really fertile ground. This is all black dirt. They like that. So Hopkins Lake is hitting. It's just you gotta find them. One patch. We're looking at lower elevation. That's where I'm at. So check those lower spots that you check. Let's see if we can find some of that spring agrosite. It's usually over here. Another spot you'll want to check is around the edges of graveyards. And it might seem a little morbid, and hopefully it doesn't, but you can check for maitake at the old oak trees. Graveyards are notorious for planting old oak trees. If you like hen of the woods, if you like maitake, they're the same thing. You'll want to check all those old graveyards. I've found like 20 pounds worth of maitake, 20 pounds worth of hen of the woods just from going to old graveyards. What else is in here? This feels like a good spot too. Just the right amount of moisture. We have a lot of those wild strawberries. It's not going to be long before they're out, and they're sweet. They taste like a ripe, tender strawberry. Unlike those ones you get at the store. I don't know if you know this, but the strawberries you buy at the store aren't usually picked red. I worked in a produce department for a while. They're picked green, and then sometimes they'll use something like CO2 to redden the outside of them. So that's why you bite them and they're not red all the way through. They're like white on the outside. So you want to go for the wild strawberries if you can get strawberries, or if you want strawberries. They're smaller, sweeter, healthier. Checking under these fallen trees. They like this right now. There's also going to be dewberries out, mulberries, excuse me. There's service berries, hawthorn berries. Michigan's pretty big on berries. And I have a little saying, if you find a red a red berry with a glossy green leaf that's bigger, you might have found dinner. So little berries, big leaves. Or no, sorry, I have that backwards. This is why I write everything down. I'll have to just recite it when I get home. This is what happens when you try to learn like 3 kingdoms at once. You get a little confused. The berries are actually bigger than the leaves, is what I mean to say. So if you find a red berry with a red berry bigger than the leaf, and the leaf is glossy, more than likely you found dinner. A berry bigger, not a leaf bigger. Gosh, can't remember my own stuff. I got too excited by Morels. But this is why I do the rule of 9 too. You don't have to worry about a bad memory when you do that. If you do the 3 references, 3 experts, and find it 3 times, it's almost like you get backyard familiar with it. Burdocks like that. I found it so much. Morels are like that to people. You don't need someone telling you what to look for when you look for a morel, because you've been hunting them so long. Well, by the end of the rule of 9, you feel that way about whatever you're studying. And I noticed a trend when it came to red berries and glossy leaves. If the leaf is really small and glossy and the berry's bigger, most of them are edible. Hello, Christine and Imquid. I am a remember faces person, not names, so if I ever screw up on your name, I'm sorry. We got something. I don't know what that is. Not what I was hoping for. I was hoping she was Bridges butter. I'll have a bunch of those sayings written down, and I'll try to post it on Facebook or YouTube, so you have a few hints when studying. But mostly it's the rule of 9. Find it 3 times, have 3 references, and check with 3 experts, and you'll know what you're doing. So if you're just tuning in, we're up to, let's see how many morels we're up to. Trying to make sayings for these things is difficult. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10. So we're up to 10 morels. Not too bad for back here. There's no way to make little trick sayings for mushrooms. They're so different. They're not like plants. From one mushroom to the next, you could have a completely different makeup. And there is a chicken fat mushroom. There are sweet mushrooms, candy caps, that taste sugary and sweet. Michigan has a giant variety of fungi. All this tree diversity. And then we're checking the lowlands, so we're going to go over here. Checking near the swamp. I once heard about someone finding a morel growing on the swamp. Regardless of whatever saying I make to make it easier to learn, always use the rule of 9. Always check with 3 references. Always do 3 experts. And wait till you found it 3 times before you nibble on anything. Some hickory trees. This phone's horrible, but thank you. Well, we found 10 morels, but it's still, mushroom hunting isn't going to be super exciting, I guess. It's kind of like the military. There's a hurry up and wait. You're hurrying to a spot when you see it, and there's a lot of waiting and looking. So we found a morel patch. I was looking for those agrosites. I think I found one. Just old. Oh, I take that back. This can be kind of exciting depending on how far you go with the field. If you get a high-powered microscope and you want to look at the cells and see all the differences, then you're probably going to get excited by just about anything out here. Did I happen to record this video 19 years ago and then go live? Am I Shane Dawson? That would work out in the end. So here's some of this polypore. I'm going to take some of these because I think this is the hexagon polypore. Ooh, a little huntsman. See a little spider on there? Huntsman, or not spider. Is it a huntsman? I think it is, yep. Huntsmen actually aren't spiders. I forget what they call them, but they're not spiders. More deer scat. We're finally warming up a little bit in Michigan. Lots of hickory nuts. Let's see. A few more of those aggros ivy. Might have got a little too dry for them. Oh, gosh, you can tell I'm from Michigan. Every time I almost fall over. Oh, all right, I think I've covered this area pretty well. I don't see anything new. All right, no more spring aggros ivy. It's not that I can see.